Listen, I've said it before. It's nice, obviously, having Julian and having Morgan. That's the first time we've had those two guys together on the floor this year, and we're trying to figure out our team kind of on the fly. We don't even have Kamari out there yet, and Curtis and Javen, so we got to figure out rotations. Kind of moving forward, but. Our ball, I think the identity, especially on the offensive end, I think is really starting to cement itself. I think you can see we had 23 assists tonight. We had 22 assists last game on 24 made field goals. Our ball really moves. I mean, it does. And our player movement, our ball movement, we're going to score points, a lot of points. But we got to rebound the ball. I'm tired of giving up second chance shots, third chance shots. Like it's ridiculous. I told our staff afterwards, like, we're just going to put, like, what this thing, they have this contraption they call the bubble, and you put it on the rim, and you can't make any shots, so it makes you miss every single time. We're just going to put that up the entire time next practice. I mean, we have to block out. Your second, our first shot defense is. We let Evans go coast to coast a couple times, and which was ridiculous as well, especially late in the game. But like our second shot defense, the third shot defense, man, you giving up offensive rebounds, teams are going to make you pay for it, and we got to fix that moving forward. But again, happy to win, obviously, but we got to learn from wins just like we do losses.
26 three-pointers over the last two games. Is there anything specific you can point to account for that?
Yeah, I think it's our ball movement and our player movement. I said it last press conference after the last game against Little Rock. Great shooting teams are great passing teams. What quality shot are you getting, right? I thought early on in the year we were taking a lot of forced jump shots. That kind of like you just kind of look at, man, like, why did you do that early in the shot clock? So I told our guys, listen, our identity is first 10, last 10. We want to explore in the first 10 to get an open layup or a three. And if not, then we got to get the ball moving side to side to side to get the defense to break down to produce one of those shots. We got to stay away from the contested jump shots. And it's amazing. It's not rocket science. Your percentages will go up if you get better shots. I mean, but you got to work to get great shots. And I think our guys are starting to understand that and understand how to win, especially on that offensive end.
Coach, plus 16 assist to turnover ratio.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Hey, man, how are you
You
doing?
just surprised me.
Yeah, I told you I was coming up.
I didn't have very good point guard vision right there.
It's plus 16 assist to turnover ratio tonight. Can you talk about just like the ball movement you guys had, like you were mentioning?
Yeah, we've been really focused. Last week, it was the first time we were able to kind of practice in about a week and a half, 2 week span because we were short on bodies, and we were going game. And the thing we really focused on was cutting. Really, really hard, being violent with our cuts, and then screening flesh to flesh, and then rolling, putting pressure on the rim. All of a sudden, it's like we're doing the same thing offensively as we did before. We're just doing it a heck of a lot better, right? So now our ball's just moving, and I've told our guys our go-to guy is going to be the open guy. Morgan Safford's really helped us in this area, just his maturity and his poise that he has. Like, he scored 26 tonight, but, like, he didn't take any bad shots. If anything, he passes up shots to get a great one for Miami. And I think, again, if we have that mentality moving forward, man, like I said, we're going to score a ton of points.
So I got to ask this as someone who's been around you for a few years. As someone who said in the past they don't necessarily care about the three-point shot, 50% on 28 of them,
We could shoot. And I know that. Listen, we can really shoot the ball. I think that's a strength of our team. But passing is our strength of our team as well. And I'm always going to go back to great shooting teams and great passing teams. And if our ball moves like that with the shooting that we have out there, Billy, Ryan, Mackay, Morgan, Julian, like I said, we're gonna score a lot of points.
It's obvious that you have multiple people that can shoot from the outside. Morgan tonight, as I was talking to him, gives you some ability to get inside and score points in there. Had a good combination with Anderson on the assist tonight and that. Is this something, the inside scoring, that's only going to get better as you get some more people back, that you can use?
I think so. I think, you said it, Morgan's a good paint guy. He can get paint touches and he can finish. He's strong. He's athletic. Obviously, Anderson's done a good job to this point in the year, scoring down low as well. You add a guy like Kamari, again, another athletic 6'7", long guy that we don't have anybody like that on our team, anybody else like Kamari. All right, like Kamari's been phenomenal in practice. I was texting with his dad the other night because he was asking how he's been doing in practice, and I said, dude, he's been as good as anybody in practice that we have on our team. He's taken a huge jump from when I first saw him. I started working with him last April. And I was like, man, he's talented. And then now all of a sudden he's become pretty dang productive. There's a difference. But all of a sudden he gives us another paint guy. Curtis Harrison's a big, strong dude, gives us another paint guy. So I do think you'll start to see our paint level production will continue to go up. But that'll help our threes, so too. Because anytime the ball can touch the paint and then it gets sprayed out, your percentages go way up from three.
Billy Smith gave you guys some big additions tonight. Can you talk about his additions to the game, how big he was for you?
Yeah, Billy, for a freshman, he's just so smart. He's just always usually in the right spots, and he could shoot the crap out of the ball. I mean, he's an elite shot maker, elite, and he knows who he is. And like I said, usually he's just right in the right spots. He's going to be a really good player. He's going to be a really good player for us.
We were talking about this when you came in, Anderson, with the team-high 7 assists tonight. Does that surprise you at all, or is that something that you anticipated him being able to contribute to?
Yeah, I think he's unique. He's one of the most unique guys in college basketball. You're going to look at this guy that weighs 320 pounds out there. He's 6'7", 6'8". And listen, he can score the ball with his back to the basket. He's very nimble. But probably the thing that once you really start watching him is, man, his IQ is off the charts. And we're going to play through him, whether that's in the low post, elbows, top of the key. Like, we're going to put it because he can make decisions. He's almost like a point guard in some ways, like we invert our offense a lot, and he becomes the playmaker. So not shocked at all. Now, where we're getting better to help him is cutting. You start to see some of those cuts, like Morgan's cutting off the ball. Our guys are starting to recognize, man, these are some opportunities to cut where we can put pressure on the rim. When you see the back of your defender's head, that means you should cut. And Anderson will find you. Like, we always keep on telling him, listen, he is unselfish. And he's one of those guys, when you think about like old NBA guys, our guys that have no idea who these guys are, Sabonis back in the day, or Vlade Divac, right? Again, he can pass like those guys. No, they weren't. We're going to get him. He doesn't know this, but we're going to get him below 300 here at some point.
It seemed like the only time that they were really getting almost what you would call easy baskets is off either a high post and go, or something that they can drive inside and dish off.
Yep.
Is this something that you think you can work on between now and, say, conference time, or will get better when Kamari comes back? Or
Yeah.
I know there's a little frustration there.
Yeah, we better get better if we want to win, right? Like, offense, listen, we're like I said, we're going to score. But if we just try to outscore teams, we're not going to go where we want to go. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. Like, we got to get stops. We keep track of kills throughout the game. So getting 3 stops in a row equals 1 kill. We want to get 7 per game, right? Like, I think we had 1 tonight, which is a joke. That means we just tried to outscore Jackson State, and we're able to do that. But all of a sudden, you're playing maybe when we start to get into league play, you're playing Kent State, who's an absolute monster. Had a chance to beat Houston the other night. Like, man, you better be able to guard. You better guard the ball. Keep your defense tight, limit them to 1 shot, get back in transition. Those little things win. And we got to get a lot better on that end.
You don't seem to be the worst for wear. You really hit your stride tonight. What was the key for you?
I just think my teammates found me when I was cutting, so I give all of my credit to my teammates for making me the open man. Tonight was my night, and that's how our team is going to play. We move the ball, we cut well, and we cut hard. So whoever night it is, when number is called, we make shots.
Morgan, you were able to draw 8 fouls tonight on those aforementioned cuts. Can you talk about just kind of how big that was for you guys to attack the rim through the game?
I just think getting them in foul trouble, getting us to line, either we're a great free throw shooting team, so if we can attack the rim and get fouls drawn onto them, we can make free throws and extend the game.
I got to ask you about this combination with you and Anderson. There was a couple passes out there where it looked like you guys have been playing together for 4 years, behind the back, over the head, and so on and so forth like that. But that seems to really be coming together for you guys.
Absolutely. I just think me and Anderson are both high IQ players, and we've been playing together for at least maybe 6 months, so we're starting to pick up on each other's tendencies. He knows I'm going to cut to the rim when it's open, and I know he's going to find me, so I just try to make the layups when it comes.
You guys had pretty balanced scoring tonight. Can you guys talk about how big that is for you guys, especially going down the stretch with these last few games before conference play?
Absolutely. I think it's very nice, especially the freshmen, to find a groove. It adds to our depth as we get more guys back. So just having those guys find their groove as freshmen, because, as a freshman, it's kind of tough. You have bad games, you have good games. So just being able to find those grooves for our guys after our depth going into a long conference season.
This might seem like a stupid question considering you just set a career high in scoring, but are you 100% now?
I'm an old guy. I'm never gonna be 100%. I just try to see Chris in in the training room every day and take care of my body as best I can. This season's a long grind. I've been through it, so I know how to take care of my body and get there. And you're never gonna be 100% in college basketball.
It's starting to look apparent that this team can shoot threes. Part of what you were giving them tonight was the ability to get inside as well. Do you see part of your role is giving them an inside presence of sorts?
I just feel like as a scorer, I can score at all three levels. I can shoot the ball, I can drive, I can pass. So it's just like we have well-balanced scoring throughout. We have a lot of great shooters like Ryan and Billy hit a lot of tough shots today. So I try to mix it up, keep the defense honest. They close out hard. You get to the rim. You got to play what the defense gives you, honestly.
You guys set a season high with 14 three-pointers, and the 14th came on that basket interference call. But what was the key to you guys being so hot from the outside tonight?
I think we just take great shots. We've learned that. We struggled with that early on in the season, taking bad shots, taking rush shots, but we moved the ball and find the open man. That's the key to us making threes. Our percentage was low at first because we were taking bad shots, rush shots, but now we move the ball and find the open man. We got great shooters. They're going to knock down wide open threes.